Welcome back to my 5 favorite people. Hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. Today we have a guest speaker. This is my dog Cora, and she wanted to come by and tell you guys hi before we jump into the video. Okay, sweet. Now, with that being said, you guys, we have a couple different updates that we need to go over. I did actually add in a new position that was WPAY. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the reason why I added WPAY, some things that I like about it, some things that I don't like about it, and then we'll do a little bit of markets research, and then I also have my portfolio to go over. So if you guys like content like this, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button so that I can get more content like this out daily as the market's actually happening. Let's jump straight into it, you guys. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you, get my face out the way, and then make this a little bigger so you guys can see. Okay, sweet. Okay, so here is the script we're going to go off of. Pretty much just going to do a weekly ETF review, which is WPAY. And I'm going to go ahead and start talking about WPAY because if you guys have not heard of it, it actually is pretty cool. Here is the actual screen right here. And this is just Round Hill Investments. You search it up, you search up WPAY. And this is the main screen that you will look at. Now, the first thing I want you guys to see, which I think is pretty nice, WPAY management fee is waived to 0% until at least September 30th, 2026. So I think that is pretty nice that they are waiving all the fees until at least next year. I mean, time recording is September 20th, 2025 right now. So that is nice. Next thing that I see, distribution rate is holding 51%. If this thing can hold above 50% distribution rate, I am all hands on deck. Like, trust me, this is going to be an amazing fund. Like, it is a weekly paying fund. A 51% distribution rate, if it can hold, is amazing. Oh my goodness, I would love to see this right here. Before we get a little more into the actual background knowledge on WPAY, I will let you guys know they actually did have their first dividend payment. You guys can see dividends. It actually hit on September 16th, so that means that WPAY pays like the actual dividend is announced on Tuesdays and it pays out on Wednesday, which I think is the perfect match because you guys know ULTY, the dividends are announced on Thursday, but they pay out on Friday. So it's kind of like split in the middle. I think that's perfect right there. But the most recent dividend payment that came out was $54 or 54 cents. And I picked up 20 shares. So I actually did not get the actual dividend payment because I had just picked it up maybe yesterday. And I'll actually show you guys that my actual position. So here's the account right here. You guys can see we're looking very nice. We're up 3% right there. But WPAY, I literally bought it yesterday and it just spiked up. Like, I think I bought it around like right here and it absolutely spiked up right here. I was like, wow, what is going on? Look at this. I was in here for a day. If you guys don't believe me, look at this. This was 20 hours ago. I picked up 20 shares for $1,000 at $54.51. And this thing just shot up. Like, literally just ran upwards. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind there is a 100% maintenance ratio or requirement, so keep that in mind as well whenever you guys are thinking about buying it. But the fact that the total return went up 2.54% in a day, it was like, wow. The chart's been looking absolutely amazing. You guys can see they only had one actual dividend payment so far, so we don't know how the NAV is going to look. But it's supposed to actually keep its NAV up. Now, that's supposed to be one of the main things about this actual weekly paying ETF is that the NAV is supposed to be a little more stable. Not necessarily just like straight growth, but it's supposed to be a lot more stable because I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but there is like a little bit leverage in it. It's like a 1.2 times leverage. So that 0.2 is going to actually help the leverage whenever the NAV drops down. The little bit of leverage is going to actually stretch it back up so that way it doesn't drop. Like, for example, with ULTY, how it like drops so much percentage whenever the dividend is paid out. It's going to drop percentage because the dividend has to be paid out. So we understand that NAV is going to go down, but we don't want it to go down steadily and so rapidly. Like, we want a nice steady decline or a steady increase. We don't want a huge drop. But that is the portfolio right there. You guys can see it is simply just called WPAY. If you guys are interested, come over to the search bar, type in WPAY. WPAY, you guys will see right here, it says Round Hill Weekly Pay Universe ETF. So let's go back to the screen. Let's talk about the actual overview of WPAY. You can see the Round Hill Weekly Pay ETF seeks to track performance. Weekly Pay Universe Index. WPAY is designed to invest in eligible universe or single stocks weekly pay ETFs. Meaning, if you guys do not know what the actual holdings are, scroll down here. You guys can actually check them out. You can see there are some really good companies like Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, AMD, Netflix, Nvidia, Google inside of there. With that being said, you guys are investing in one ETF that does track all of these single actual income ETFs, meaning you guys can't just invest in Apple and Amazon and Microsoft. You guys, whenever you are investing into WPAY, you're investing into all of these funds, not just a couple of them. So just definitely keep that in mind. You guys can see here is the actual full-on breakdown. You guys can check it out right here. Palantir, you can see Coin, Google, Nvidia, Netflix. You guys can see what it all looks like. And they're weighted pretty evenly. As you guys can see, everything is weighted very evenly. What is this, a money market account? FG, Triple X, I'm pretty sure it's a money market account. I could be wrong. But everything is weighted equally. And with that being said, you guys will also see if you scroll to the top, it actually is rebalanced monthly. Here it is. WPAY is rebalanced monthly to equal weight, ensuring consistent exposure to single stock weekly pay ETFs in a single ticker. So that is amazing. Now, another reason why I got into WPAY, and I have not put a huge position, as you guys can see, this is about 60% of my portfolio, about $1,000. I'm not going to go heavy in just yet. Now, trust me, I'm someone, I love to go heavy into stuff. Like, I love to take a bet and a risk on stuff, but we simply don't have enough information. We don't even have a full month worth of information. It's been September 4th, September 20th. We've had 16 days of, charting. I mean, yes, it's up 10% in the month, but with that being said, we've only had one singular dividend payment. So we don't know how the NAV is going to look. We don't know how the distribution rate is going to look. We don't know anything really. So what I recommend, and now this is not financial advice, I do recommend you guys putting a small position in, nothing too crazy, even if you guys have a lot of money to play with. I would not recommend putting a lot of money at the very beginning. Let us get maybe 2 or 3 more dividend payments, see if we can actually stabilize that NAV, and also see if we can get consistent dividend payments. Looks like we're going to be paying around that 54 cents range right here. So if we can, maintain above 50 cents for the actual dividend payments, yeah, that would be great. I mean, that would be amazing. See if we can stabilize that. If so, then you guys are going to want to, maybe dump a little house money on there, but nothing too crazy. Now, next, let me see if I'm staying on script actually. How it works. ETF seeks to invest in single stock income strategies using options to generate yield. It doesn't actually own the actual companies. As you guys can see, it doesn't really own any of those. The distributions are announced every Tuesday to hit your account on Wednesday. And that's just how quickly the income comes in. And that is one thing I do love about these weekly paying ETFs. Now, I do hold some monthly ETFs as well, like QQQI, SPYI. I do hold some of those monthly paying ones, but the weekly ones, they just add a little bit more dopamine excitement, and that is what you guys are going to get from holding in WPAY. Let's see what else we got next. Just want to make sure I'm staying on track with everything. I like to get off topic and jump course of everything. Performance and NAV. Now, one thing that I do really like about WPAY is stability so far. Now, I'm telling you guys so far because it's only been 16 days, like I said. Since its launch, it has kept a relatively stable NAV, even showing growth so far. And for an income ETF, that's impressive compared to the others. NAV erosion is the biggest risk. Now, like I said, this is just now released. If I were to go to ULTY and show you guys what ULTY looks like at the time of inception, let's take a look. Let's change ULTY and let's see. Let's go to the 1 year and let's see what ULTY's inception look like. Okay, so here is ULTY's inception. I mean, Robinhood showing September 20th, 2024. It ran up a little bit and then it dropped down. So this is simply, it got incepted, the dividends were released, drop. Rose a little bit, dividends were released, drop. So I will say, compared to ULTY's inception, it's had a nice little run up. Like, it didn't have this big drop right here. But also, ULTY paid 3 dividends in the span of it being released. And WPAY's only paid 1 just so far. So what I'm hoping is that our chart does not look like this. Now, I do hold ULTY. Don't get me wrong. I hold a huge position in ULTY. Not huge, but I hold a decent position for my portfolio size in ULTY. Now, I just don't want our chart to look like this because this right here is a decaying NAV ETF. I love ULTY. Don't get me wrong. I love the distributions, but the NAV decay from last year at $10 all the way down to almost, what is this, $5? $5.42. that's a 50% loss. And I do not want to take a 50% loss, because you guys got to realize we are buying into this so early that if there is a NAV decay, we're going to have to stomach those losses. And I don't want to do that. Like, I want to chart like a QQQI. I don't know if you guys have seen I'm not sure if you guys have seen the QQQI chart, but this one is what I would love for our chart to look like. Now, I know there is a difference because WPAY is going to pay out a higher yield and also more frequently, so the dividend or the actual NAV is going to drop faster compared to QQQI. But I would love just an overall chart. Look at this. Now, there was that huge drop because of tariffs, but look at this. You guys can see how it rises up, drops a little bit, rises up, drops a little bit, rises up, drops a little bit. Dividends are paid, drops, rises. But over time, it's constantly just rising up. The NAV is going a little bit sideways, but guess what? It's going at a, what is it? What do you call this? Not horizontal, not vertical, perpendicular. I don't know. You guys know what I'm trying to say. It's going at a acute angle. And that's what I actually want WPAY to stick to. So if it does do that, that would be great. But as you guys know, I will be updating weekly and probably daily on WPAY so that we stay up to date with everything. Next thing that I do really like about WPAY is a diversification. Like I told you guys, all the actual holdings inside. It's not just going to be one singular income ETFs. Like, it's not going to be like 2 or 3. They have a nice diversification, and they are monthly rebalancing everything in the inside. And they have, they have really good actual funds inside. Like, these are index funds that are inside the SP 500, like Amazon, Microsoft, Meta. So there's going to be some really good amount of volatility that will probably pull up some really good premiums for us, so that we can get some good dividends being paid out. And then here's, like I was telling you guys, some things that I like. High distribution rate sitting around 50%, which is great for an ETF. If we can hold at 50%, everything will look great, sweet, and juicy. Weekly payouts announced on Tuesday, paid on Wednesday, like clockwork, just like I was telling you guys. Monthly rebalancing keeps the strategy consistent and balanced. And then the diversification potential, looking to add WPAY to diversify away from ULTY and YieldMax. With that being said, I am not selling off my position of ULTY and YieldMax. I just need to diversify a lot more because I don't even know. It's a huge position. I think it's 70% into ULTY. Let me see what my position actually is in ULTY. I think it's 70% of my entire portfolio is in ULTY. 77%. So I got to get this down to at least 50%. And I do hold QQQI, so I do plan on getting that. But I do also want to have another weekly paying. So this is going to be one that I actually pull the actual weight up on, and this is why I did put some things that I like, the diversification potential. Some things to keep in mind, of course, like all the actual weekly paying ETFs, WPAY comes with its trade-offs. It is an option-based fund tied to a single stock, which means while income is strong, you are investing in, don't mind this right here, long-term, the NAV could still go through some pressure. So this is an income play, not a growth investment. And that is what I tell you guys to hit home every time we talk about ULTY. ULTY is not going to be a growth potential ETF. Even though I am in a positive total return right now, I am using it for completely an income play. I will be actually reinvesting all the dividends that I get into WPAY, just like I do ULTY, YieldMax, NVIDIA, all the actual paying ETFs. I invest all my dividends right back into it so I can make that little, right now it's like a little bitty snowball, but I want a huge snowball effect here soon. To finish off my thoughts and wrap, overall, WPAY is looking like a very solid addition, and if you are chasing some type of weekly income, there is no fee structure, consistent payoffs, and strong distribution rate, making it very attractive, especially if you're already in ULTY or YieldMax. And if you want some diversification, I'll be watching this closely, and I'll let you guys know if anything changes. But to finish off my video, let me close this off really quickly. I just want to hear from you guys. Have you guys bought any WPAY positions? Are you guys thinking about WPAY? And also, what are your thoughts? Because this is new. We've only had one dividend payment so far. I know a lot of people are afraid of the 100% maintenance ratio. There's some people that are saying there's not enough information. We just got a dividend payment, so people are saying we need more actual information on dividends. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section because, hey, I didn't put much in here, but I also want to see what it looks like and how it does. So let me hear what you guys are thinking about. But if you guys like content like this, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, I will see you guys soon. Be safe and have a great weekend.